What if, tomorrow, every single human being on Earth simply vanished? No disaster, no explanation, just gone. In the first few hours, the world will look almost normal, but within 24 hours, the power would start to fail. Most power stations require human operators to keep them running. Most of the world will be in darkness. The more dangerous problem would be nuclear power plants. Without cooling systems being maintained, many would overheat. Some would melt down. The areas around them would become uninhabitable for thousands of years. Within days, the animals we left behind would face their own crisis. Pets locked indoors would begin to starve. Farm animals confined to enclosures would slowly die without feed and water. But those that escaped, dogs, pigs, cattle, would begin to form feral groups adapting to a world without us. Within weeks, cities would begin to change. Without maintenance, water pipes would burst, basements would flood, roads could crack as tree roots pushed upwards from below. Within a year, plants would be reclaiming what was theirs, vines crawling up skyscrapers. Within a decade, wildlife would be flooding back into our cities, wolves prowling through the streets of Paris, dolphins returning to the canals of Venice. But our buildings wouldn't last. Steel rust, concrete cracks. Without maintenance, most modern structures would begin to fail within decades. Bridges would collapse, skyscrapers would buckle, the skylines we built over centuries would crumble in a fraction of that time. Ironically, some of the best evidence of what happens already exists. Chernobyl, abandoned after the 1986 nuclear disaster, has become an accidental nature reserve. Wolves, lynx, eagles and wild horses have returned in numbers not seen in the region for a century. Some things would survive longer than others. The Great Wall of China, the Egyptian pyramids, built from stone, they could stand for tens of thousands of years, silent monuments to a species that no longer exists. But our plastics would outlast almost everything else. Plastic takes hundreds to thousands of years to fully break down. Long after our cities have crumbled and our roads have disappeared, the oceans would still carry the remnants of our plastic waste, the most enduring legacy of the human age. Within 500 years, most traces of human civilization would be gone. Forests would cover what were once our greatest cities, the air would be cleaner, the oceans fuller. The species we pushed to the edge of extinction would begin to recover. Elephants roaming freely across Africa without poachers, whale populations exploding the oceans free of shipping noise and pollution. The natural world, given just a few centuries, would bounce back in ways that would astonish us. There's one thing that would outlast everything. The radio and television signals we've been broadcasting for over a century are already travelling through space at the speed of light. Our voices, our music, our stories would still be moving outward through the universe, a message in a bottle cast into an infinite ocean. In the end, the Earth doesn't need us to survive. It was here for 4.5 billion years before we arrived. The real question isn't what would happen to the planet if we disappeared. It's what kind of mark we chose to leave while we're still here. Humans have existed for 300,000 years. Earth has existed for 4.5 billion. We are a footnote. What we do with that footnote is up to us.